I don't know what happened today. I'm not been having any technical difficulty usually, but oh well, it happens. Um, Let me bring her back in, and we'll take it from there. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry for that. Just reconnecting with her. Just take a few seconds, and we'll be back online. And we're just connecting with her. There she is. Hello there
Yay.
once again.
Hello.
I don't know, the connection just said poor connection and it just dropped. I don't know what happened.
Bad Wi-Fi, apparently. Last thing I heard
Can
you
you?
say was, oh, sorry. Last thing I heard you say was, you're talking about the people around us when we start giving the narcissist supply something, and then it cut
Yeah.
off.
Yes. So what I? Yes. Yeah. So that's what I was saying, that if you stop giving them the supply, we could eventually just come to a place where such people would stop existing. The thing is, it goes both ways, you see. Uh, the abuser and the person being abused. So it adds up to make that thing happen. And why I asked you that was because you see, when you said, you answered the question yourself and you identified what was wrong within yourself, where you felt bad for the other person, and that is not right. And because you felt bad for the other person, it was okay for you to let them abuse you because you wanted to help them, because you have a good heart. So when you have those kinds of conversations with yourself, where you're not just too self consumed by just looking at the abuser or the narcissist in your life, but you stop and you do that self reflection, it really goes a long way. Because then, like you said, you yourself are on your healing journey. It kind of helps you build your confidence and break that pattern of cycle that you've been living in, so that once you heal and you put yourself out there, your vibration and your frequency and the vibe that you're giving out is for the right person to come towards you, because right now, you before this, you were giving the vibe to that person that, hey, I'm here for you and I will accept you regardless if you want to abuse me. I just want to make you feel better. I want to fix you. And they get it. That's why they get attracted to you all the time.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing a great job by identifying that, hey, this is wrong with me and this is not good. So that's a good start, and that is eventually going to lead you to a better future, uh, and better relationships as well.
Yeah, thank you.
So talk more about, after your last relationship, how has it been for you emotionally, and more about your healing journey.
Well, I now have um I have really bad anxiety and PTSD. So it affects me basically all day, every day. Um, so I am working really hard on fighting that, but there's like this constant like battle in my mind of like the lies that I was told about myself and about how the world works, and this new like reality that I'm trying to, figure out which one is true. And I can know which one is true in my, you know, my head, but it's hard to
Mhm.
believe that because I've been brainwashed for a year and a half. So um, it's
Mhm.
it's been a really hard journey, and I think this morning I even woke up just like I was like, I'm so tired.
mm,
I really hope it gets even a little bit better soon. But, you know, I'm, I've had to really like work hard to, um, not fall into like this pit of despair and just, just be honest
mm.
with people about how I'm feeling um, and that's why I made my abuse survivor page, so I can
Mm,
open up about that without worrying about what people think. And I have almost 400 followers now. I'm like other people are out there. It's not just myself. Um, and that really helps me. Like,
mm,
oh, it's
mm.
not just me, and it's like this community that we all like support each other and we understand each other, and that's been helping keep me afloat a little bit. Um, so yeah, it's a
Yeah, that's
struggle.
great. And but you're doing great because not only have you come forward with this platform to express how you feel and talk about your journey, but you being real with people around you, telling them how you emotionally feel and what kind of emotional support you need, because sometimes people can't channel through that where they can go to a person and say you, hey, I'm kind of struggling emotionally, because people cannot understand if you're struggling emotionally. You have to really say it out loud for the other person to understand what's going inside of you within your thoughts and all that. So for you to be able to express yourself in your surrounding, it's really brave of you, number one. And number two,
Yeah,
yes, that's how we met as well, through your page. And I feel that having conversations, like I said before, with a lot of survivors, they say the same thing, that this is one of the best things they've done, where if they come forward on their Instagram, opening up and posting about their story, mm, and it's just helped them connect with people who truly understand them and are there to give them the support they need. Because I feel, and this is just a general opinion, that if you're not been through something, you cannot really understand it. So if you, and especially I've read so much about narcissism and I've had so many people talk about it, and it's now I know a lot, but still to actually be in that relationship must be totally different, to hear and be, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Imagine the person who's actually been through that. It's so hard for them. So I think, and the reason I told you to come forward is because I want you to connect more with people who are going through the same kind of abuse, so you can get more exposure. But let me tell you one thing, and this is my personal opinion, and you can take it or not if it resonates with you. I think that at a certain point in life, when you have enough information, and that's what I spoke with my previous host as well, is that the COVID-19, right? When it happened, after a few weeks, we saw the amount of anxiety and depression and all mental health issues went up globally. And that was because we already got the information, but now we were sitting in it every day, like it became our life. The minute we woke up, we were reading about COVID. The minute everything was just about COVID. And I can tell from my personal experience, I was suffering anxiety before COVID, and when COVID happened, my anxiety went over the roof. Like I was a crazy person. I thought nobody could bear with me, because I was like, oh, don't do this, oh, don't open the door, oh, use the hand sanitizer. So I was like freaking out, literally. And I don't know, maybe 4 or 6 weeks in it, one day I just like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing? How am I going to stop? Because I have old parents. I need to stop this because it's affecting everybody, my kids. And you know what's the first thing I did? I'm not going to follow the news. The second thing I did was I'm not going to read about it on any social media because I had enough information to know what I needed to do. So I didn't need to get up every day in that fear and live in that fear state of mind. And believe me, it helped me so drastically. 12 weeks not getting out of my home, it helped me overcome that. Take my kids out for a walk, of course, doing the wearing the mask and the gloves and social distancing and the stuff.
Yeah.
But for you, what I wanted to say, giving this example, is when you have the community, when you have the support, that's great. But when you have enough knowledge, don't sit in it every day. Don't read on it every day. Now you know, you identify the problem, you identify what's wrong with you. Now work on what's next. What's next? I'm healing. Okay, I'm gonna heal. If you're gonna keep on reading about it, it will just keep you in that cycle. So you have to, I think, push yourself out just the way I had to push myself out of the COVID-19 fear, is
Hmm.
read motivational quotes, connect with people who have recovered and have a better life. So that gives you hope for yourself as well. And I don't know if you agree with me, but this is something I felt I should say because I met one or two survivors on conversations, and they were just stuck in there. They knew so much, and I just felt that they're just there. They're not going to move forward because they're not trying to get out of it. They're just fixated with that. Does that make sense to you or no?
Hmm.
What I'm saying
Yeah,
here.
that totally makes sense. Yeah. And one thing that I'm working on with my therapist is something called EMDR therapy. And she was saying the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. Is like, I'm stuck in my trauma. I'm in the cycle in my head and I'm not healing from it because I'm thinking about it. And so, yeah, we're doing this
Mm.
EMDR therapy. I don't know if you know about
Okay.
it. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it just like takes
I
you,
know a little bit about it. Somebody said, please,
yeah.
please go ahead.
It just you have to really focus on like the abuse, like the traumatic events, while they do this bilateral stimulation, and it helps your brain to naturally process it and heal, so that you don't like get stuck in the trauma anymore. So that's what I'm starting next
Oh,
week.
so is it like, okay, so is it like, just explain if I got it right, because I was talking to somebody and I was saying, uh, and then again I'm giving example through anxiety, is that you have to sit through your emotion to understand why you feel a certain way, to establish what causes it, and then move forward. Is that the kind of therapy you're talking about?
Yeah.
Where you're basically going back, reliving that trauma to understand its intensity, to process through it and move forward.
Basically, yeah. So instead of pushing it to like the back of your brain where you're
Gotcha.
feeling the emotions but not
Mm.
dealing with them, because
Just don't
yeah.
suppress it.
Yeah. So, and
Gotcha, gotcha.
it's supposedly a little like scary, because when you put yourself in it there again and you like relive that in the moment, it's really like, for some people, it's really triggering. And
Mm.
so, at first they
Right,
work with you
definitely.
on,
Yeah.
yeah, at first they work with you on like tactics for how to cope when you feel overwhelmed, you go through the that kind of therapy. So yeah.
Well, somebody is saying, I can't think I can ever get past the confusion from gaslighting. Do you want to say something to her?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, definitely. I feel like I'm still confused too all the time. And I have a friend who's dating a narcissist right now, and she has for 5 years, and she's saying the same thing. And yeah, it's something that I'm assuming take some time to train your brain back to knowing what is reality. Um, Gaslighting, is someone is taking your reality that away from you, and you have to go back
mm,
and, you know, remind yourself that those were lies and what is the truth.
mm.
But yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Right, right, right. And in any scenario, if somebody's been lying to you for a very and you're emotionally attached to that person, it's just hard to process and move on from it. And in a case of narcissist abuse, they basically manipulate you all the time.
Hmm.
So it can be hard and something a lot to process, because depending on how long you were in that relationship and how good your threshold is, it just kind of varies from person to person.
Hmm. Yeah,
She's
definitely.
saying, I need to start a page. My life is a lifetime Netflix HBO documentary. Well, there you go. Yes, you should go for it. Why not? I have so many people I follow, especially on narcissist abuse, because that's my uh, basic topic for abuse mostly. And tons of people who started with 10, 12 followers, while they spoken of their story, they have hundreds and thousands of followers, because you become a living example through your experience for so many people to learn from. And
Hmm.
every person has something valuable to give to you, to take with you uh, in your healing journey or to move forward. So yes, please go for it. Definitely. What would you want to say to somebody who's right now listening to you or our conversation and is still stuck in a narcissistic, abusive relationship?
Oh, I would want to say that, it gets better. As soon as you're out, you start to heal, and you know, the if you have any gut feeling that it's wrong, you're right, because it is wrong. And abuse is not normal behavior. No one should ever, ever treat you that way. It's never, never okay, no matter what their reasons are, how hurt they are. It's never something you should tolerate. And it gets it gets much better. There's better guys and girls out there, who won't do that to you. I'm in a relationship
Mhm,
now with a guy, and this is my first healthy relationship ever, and I never thought I could meet someone who would be good for me.
mhm,
And I was wrong. So it gets better.
mhm. Wow, wow, that's wonderful. And what would you want to say to somebody who cannot get out of that relationship, who's stuck, who's trauma bonded, or doesn't have the courage to move out? What would you want to say to them?
Um, I want to say that, you know, the fact that it takes a while for them to get out is a pretty normal victim of
Mm,
narcissistic abuse response. It took me 4 months. I started breaking up with him, and then it took me 4 months to actually get out of that. There's a girl that I'm talking to, and she's been trying to get out of it for years, and um, you know, and it makes sense because you're so confused because of the gaslighting, and there's two versions of them, and you don't know which one is the real version of them, and you're in love with the fake nice version of them, and don't beat yourself up, but it's definitely, you know, reach out to people and be honest with people and build a community of family, so that that when you get out, you have people to be around you, um, who love you and won't be abusive to you and won't lie to you.
mm. Beautifully said. Um, any final messages you want to give to the women out here who are listening to you guys? I think her story was such an inspirational story. She got out of three relationships and now she is in a happy place, in a happy relationship. That's a positive thing to take with you guys once you leave from here. That uh, happiness is always there waiting for you, and never give up on your happiness. And if you have any final messages, we'll just take that and wrap it up.
Um, yeah, I think one thing that helped me the most was my best friend gave me a piece of paper that she printed, and it said, "Good things are going to happen." And I think that really, it was so random and it was so sweet, but I think that's really ultimately what helped me is okay, that's true. Like there's a good future out there, and it starts the day that I leave. And that's, yeah.
Right. Right. Thank you so much once again for coming forward and having the courage to tell everybody your story, guys. We are going to wrap up on this. I will tag her after the conversation. Do reach out to her. Do connect with her. Do check out her page. Do check out her page. She's got awesome posts there. Take care of yourself. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.